Okay, so let's talk about copyrighting your image. So you can do this in Photoshop, you can do this in Bridge, you can even set your copyright in your camera. Now, your camera collects a lot of data on your image. It collects the camera, the lens settings, what your f-stop is. It can also add in your information. In your camera menu, depending on the camera you have, it will be located in different places. So you will have to research that because I am not familiar with every single camera model that is out there. But you can go into your camera menu, find the copyright section, select that, and use your dial to put each letter of what you want your copyright to be. So mine is copyright Kimberly Scott / Photographers Unleashed. This will be attached to every single image I import. If I save it and send it to someone else, if they open that file information, it will have that there. Now, here's the issue with this. It can be stripped. Someone, if they really, really want your image, they can strip that image completely of its data. So you can send, once you have your images photographed or your images edited, however you choose to do it, you can go to the Copyright Office online and you can send your image in either a single image or you can do a batch set of images. And I cannot remember the exact number that you can send in with a batch, but that is something you should look into if you do a lot of work, if you post a lot of work online, and if the work that you're posting are images that would be stolen. I'm not saying that not all images should, I think all images should be copyrighted, but if you have an image that you know will be stolen, like some images more than others just get stolen. So if you have an image like that, definitely get it copyrighted with the Copyright Administration. So let's go ahead and look at your file information within Photoshop. So let's go into File and drop down and choose File Info. So once you have your file info loaded, let's drag it over here. You will see a tab on the top of your menu. Now I only have one tab showing, and that is because I only have it set up to show one. However, there are many options that you can add by just simply using the drop down menu and then bringing that information in. Now here's the thing, I created this file from scratch. It's a composite, so there's not going to be as much camera data at all, because it could bring some in with the images like the Arctic fox. If I would have opened the Arctic fox image first, that would have had my camera model, the lens, the owner of the camera listed, and I could have built the entire composite around that image. But because I created a new document, that is why it only has the image size and the resolution. So let's go ahead and just go back over to the description and look at this. I can name my document, I can create the author, my title, which is owner, and any description I would like to include. You can also go ahead and rate your photo here. Sometimes when you're doing a search in Bridge, if you're looking for only your 5-star images, you can select only 5-star images and it will pull all of those up. Your keywords, this is really important if you do stock images, that you do your keywords, because it will help you identify and know your images. So let's go ahead and skip down to the important part, the copyright. If you want your image to be in public domain, and I don't recommend this at all, you can go ahead and choose public domain. This allows people to know that this image, of course, is in public domain. I choose copyright. With that copyright selected, it will add the little C icon to the top of your image like you see. Oh, it's not on this one yet, but it will show up. If you watch up here, once we click OK, it will add a C to the front of that Arctic. So we can change our copyright and add whatever we want into our copyright area. Now your copyright info, you can add just your website. So this would be www.photographersunleashed.com, or if you have your copyright information, every image that's copyrighted will have an identifying number, and sometimes it has letters with it to go with it. So you can add that in there as well if you really want to. Okay, so once we have that, we can go ahead and choose OK. And now you see right here at the top, it has the copyright notice. So let's go back in again and look at this again. Let's go to File Info, and that's going to open up. I have a split screen, so that's why you see it come in from the right. And we're going to go ahead and look down here, and let's say I want to use the symbol C instead of the full name copyright. Okay, let's go ahead and add that little copyright symbol that everybody loves. And what we want to do is we want to go down to our copyright notice section. I'm going to put a space between my name and where I want to put it, just to make sure we do not mess up anything because we are going to be typing. What I want to do, I'm going to move my mouse so you can see when it appears. I'm going to hold my Alt key, and then you want to type without any spaces 0169. As you can see, nothing has shown up yet. Once you release your Alt key, that's when it appears. As you can see now, there it is. Also, if you have where your computer will remember what you type, it will always show up in your copyright info as you drop down, or your copyright notice, and you will not even have to type it out every single time. You can just go ahead and click on it and it will enter the rest for you. So then you just want to go ahead and click OK. You will see that copyright symbol right here, and that's all you have to do to add your copyright to your image. Keep in mind that if you want to go in and look at the other options that are on your copyright, your metadata, you can just drop down and choose any of the information sections, and that will pull that up and add that in there. So I'm going to go ahead and just hit cancel, and then we will go on. Okay, so I opened up a new image just to show you something else to look at while we talk about the next step. And I want to talk about my videos and digimarking a little bit. Now, I record my videos on a computer that's not connected to the internet, and I do this because I do not need emails and Facebook messaging popping up and any updates happening while I'm recording, because that's really annoying. So the next step, I will not be able to show you all the way through with the videos, but I will talk about it a little bit, and that's called digimarking your images. Now, if you go to Digimark and read their information, it can be a little pricey, but I recommend you do this if you have images that are incredibly popular or get stolen a lot. So what you want to do, if you have signed up for Digimark, this company basically will do the web searches for you and identify your images based on the data that you put in on your images. So if you go to filter and choose Digimark, you can choose Embed Watermark, and it will come up, and you can log in and personalize your Digimark ID. So it will be whatever you have signed up with. It will have your copyright year, your image ID, or your transaction ID. Now, your image ID would be what you have your copyright file name as. So every image you copyright, it gets a series of numbers or letters or just numbers that identifies that information. Now, if you want to put any attributes with it, you can check mark here. So restricted use, do not copy. That's really clear. People will know that. If you have to go to court or you have to send a cease and desist, you will have on your side your copyright information, the fact that you were digimarked and you had your information saying it was not free use, it was not public domain, it was not Creative Commons, it was specifically do not use. And your image durability, if you want it to be less visible, then you would just change that to a 1. If you want it more visible, you just bring that up to a 4. Then you click OK, and it will add that in there. However, this is not going to work on this image because it already contains a watermark. So it's going to tell you if you already have that watermark on here. And because I've already digimarked this image, it's not going to let me do it again. So here's the thing with Digimark. You won't see on the image to the naked eye your watermark if you don't want it to be seen. However, it's in the data. It's within the image itself. So go to Digimark, their website. I will link it with the video, and just read up on that, because if you have really popular images, you should do that. It is a little costly though, but it is worth it if you need to protect those images and prevent theft. So I hope you understood that, and I hope it wasn't confusing, and I hope you like this copyright video. Thank you.